This week, 3 men from northwest London have been convicted of murdering their friend, who they didn't kill, and a court even proved that they didn't do it. This is the story of Billy McCullagh, aka Billy the Kid. He was involved in a shootout on the Stonebridge Estate in 2020, and he lost his life in the resulting exchange of bullets. But this week, 5 people have been convicted for their involvement in the shootout, and all of them were friends of Billy. And the court has heard what happened on the 15th of July 2020. Billy, alongside a man called Yussuf, another called Seed, and Mensah, had gathered at a party on the St Raph's estate in Brent in the early hours of the 16th of July. The 4 of them set out in a stolen Land Rover with the intention of travelling to the nearby Stonebridge Estate and attacking members of a rival gang who were at a wake and mourning the loss of somebody's father. The police said in court that they was in possession of at least 2 firearms, and at 3 a.m. in the morning, the car approached a large group of people that was on Windrush Road, NW10. Almost immediately, numerous firearms were discharged from both sides and the chaos ensued. McCullagh, who got out of the car, was shot twice, and Seed was also shot in the leg. The car left at speed and they left Billy in the street to die. The 3 remaining members of the group drove back to the St Raphael's estate, where they immediately began to cover up their tracks. Another associate, Liban Farah, was enlisted to take Seed to the hospital to sort out his leg injury. From there, they went to buy petrol and returned to the stolen Land Rover that was abandoned in another area on the estate. The car was set on fire in an attempt to destroy any evidence, and police were called to the area as a result of the fire. Farah was apprehended by the police as he tried to flee the scene. A subsequent forensics analysis of the burnt-out car revealed bullet holes in the chassis. While the car was being torched, Daniel Mensah contacted George Orgy, who took possession of one of the firearms that were used on the day. When officers attended the address of George, they found 2 handguns, a silencer and a paintball gun, and some other items in a Tesco bag. Analysis of the firearms found that 2 of the cartridges recovered at the scene of McCullagh's murder had been fired from the weapons. However, none of the injuries sustained to Billy came from them bullets. Phone analysis by the police for Seed, Mensah and Yussuf showed they and Billy McCullagh were in the same venue, and the 4 were in continual contact throughout the hours leading up to the ride-out on the Stonebridge Estate. D.R. Williams said, while the convictions bring an aspect of the investigation to a close, it still leaves a significant part open. We have not identified the person or persons responsible for firing the shots that killed Billy McCullagh. We continue to pursue lines of inquiry and will work tirelessly to find those responsible. Detective Inspector Tom Williams from the Crime Command said, this has been an extremely complex and distinctly unique investigation. At the centre of it was the murder of Billy McCullagh and him being fatally shot and left to die by his so-called friends. I'm not here to judge his motivation for driving with Yussuf, Seed and Mensah into a rival gang area with the intention of causing violence. The sad fact is that he lost his life in horrific circumstances. This does, however, go as a stark reminder of the futility of those who engage in violence. The consequences can be devastating, and the outcome of your actions often are left to sheer chance. Billy's family are left to deal with the devastating aftermath of his murder and the decision to go on a ride-out that led to his own death. They were found guilty on the 15th of August. Adal Yussuf from northwest London was found guilty of murder, conspiracy to cause grievous bodily harm and possession of a firearm. Issa Seed, 25 years old, of no fixed address, was found guilty of murder, conspiracy to cause grievous bodily harm and possession of a firearm. Daniel Mensah, 30 years old, was found guilty of murder, conspiracy to commit grievous bodily harm and possession of a firearm. Liban Farah from Romford was found guilty of perverting the course of justice, and George Orgy from northwest London was found guilty of possession of an imitation firearm. So I've never heard of this happening ever before. Anybody being convicted of a murder that they didn't actually commit, and a murder that the court knows they didn't commit, but due to the reckless actions and the fact that they were shooting at each other, the courts basically blame them as being as much responsible as whoever did kill him. So really appreciate you joining me for this story and also following it as well. And thank you to Dave Nathan for his coverage from the crime scene. Rest in peace to Billy the Kid, and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news.